Let's start
Ya estoy
the
en
PC
directo.
gaming show with our very first title from UK developer Rebellion. Several years ago, they announced that they were working on the follow-up to Evil Genius, a real-time evil layer simulator.
And now, Rebellion is ready to reveal its
Ya
nefarious
estamos.
vision for the project. So, PC Gaming
Deku se
Show,
ve raro,
who's
pero...
ready to stroke a
Porque es
cat
que lo he tenido que cambiar
menacingly?
para que cabiera bien.
Here
Ah,
is
vale, que
the
yo no me
world
muevo
is
bien.
reveal
Vale.
for Evil Genius 2
Que
World
Deku le he tenido que
Domination.
modificar la cámara para encajarla. Con lo cual está alargado.
Se nos ha unido al otro directo.
Da igual.
Creo.
Es que el yo dice las dos cosas a la vez.
¿Anunciarán este año algo así chulo en esta conferencia o será...?
No sé, yo me voy a ver.
Eh,
No me da tiempo.
no estoy viendo nada. No estoy cambiando esto. Es que vamos a abreviar lo de Akumas. ADM, ya está. ¿Qué están enseñando, Neku? Ve, cuéntame.
Nos están enseñando algo así. No sé. Evil Genius 2 World Domination.
Vampire the
Una
Masquerade
beta
Bloodlines 2 is the
cerrada.
successor to one of the most beloved RPGs ever.
O
And ready
así,
to talk about it, I
pues,
have
no se ha
Brian
visto
Soder,
gameplay, se ha
Cara
visto
Ellison,
cinemática.
Suit Labs. Now, Brian, you
Así
are
que
a
será
writer.
un indie.
Ya estoy viendo.
What does it mean for you
Sí, no
to
sé,
finally
¿qué
get
quieres
to
que
work
te
on
diga?
a sequel?
No sé cómo va a pintar
It
eso.
means that a lot of people have very high expectations.
Porque muchas veces te ponen muchas cinemáticas chulas en juegos de PC y luego no es.
Y luego son una
Whether you are
mierda.
going to meet them, because
Exacto.
we are going to take a look at the world's first gameplay footage.
Luego a lo mejor es el típico. Mira,
Exclusivo, exclusivo.
Ojo.
Que le han copiado el
Molará.
letrero. Que le han copiado el letrero a Xbox.
Guess I have to be the one to tell
en
you.
lugar de World Premiere pone.
Cuando hay un World Premiere, nos callamos.
You're obviously new to this whole existence. The truth is, most of you types won't even make it a whole year. We have one rule. You don't break the masquerade.
Ojo.
This city.
Pues no se ve mal.
We're all fighting over scraps here.
Welcome to the first day of the rest of your
Cabrones.
death. Having fun yet?
Vampire.
Vampire.
Ah, vampiro de la mascarada.
Bloodlines 2.
A esto he jugado al rol. Siempre fallo los tiradas de dados.
Tío, ¿por qué hay japoneses en el chat?
Guys, what does it mean to be a vampire in this world?
So in the Empire,
Oh, gente haciendo
what
el
it is,
capullo.
it's kind of a darker version of our world, and the vampires kind of
El señor que lo jugó
keep their
antes, macho.
presence secret from humanity. So the vampires are kind of staying hidden in the shadows while also needing to feed on human beings and kind of manipulating us in order to get blood.
We're talking about feeding on human beings. I'm getting flashbacks to last year's show. Cara, it's not just a case, though, of sucking blood and filling up your health meter, is it? Actually different types
¿Quién
of
se le oye
poisons.
la silla?
That's right. So we have the resonance system,
Perdón.
which means that essentially
No, no, se lo he
vampires
preguntado.
can kind of see the emotional resonance of human beings, like fear or desire, and then they can feed on those people to like feel the same things as human beings do, to feel more kind of alive. And that can give you like extra boosts in the game.
And there were some really interesting characters in that trailer as well. What kind of relationship are
Pre-alpha.
you forming with them as
Pues
a
ya
player?
pinta bien,
Well, very
Hombre, pasó una
fragile, very volatile relationships, very mature relationships. So it's going to be a fun time.
Ojo,
And one thing that was really intriguing
Los
when I
arbolitos.
was learning about this
Ya,
game
esto lo veo
is
great, ¿eh?
you don't just get bitten and turn into Nosferatu, Dracula, or Brad Pitt. And to be honest, I think you should maybe put Brad Pitt into the game because then I'm definitely.
Échale grasa
You
a la
actually
silla,
have to
loco.
adjust to your environment to becoming a vampire, is that right?
Madera.
That's right. So
Pero eso es
essentially, in the game,
Bueno,
when you were
pues,
made
en
as a
San Antón.
vampire, sort of very young vampire, a lot of other vampires are made at the same time in this thing called the mass embrace. And that means that essentially they're having a less lucky time than you in the world. You're having a relatively
Noticia de
good time
Nintendo.
compared to them.
Nintendo
They're
New York
doing
va a
this
cerrar.
vampire
No, va a cerrar, no.
PvP, on their own,
Sí,
and
va a cerrar
you might have
a las
family,
11:30
you might have,
mañana.
Say a wife and
¿Media?
children, and you are morally
¿Pero 11:30
objecting to
haces?
drinking
O-
blood
No sé,
to
no sé.
survive, and so you might have a less
A ver,
good
lo paso
time,
por
let's
Discord
say,
y ya está.
than the
Vosotros
player
lo
is having. So you can find them throughout the world as well.
And Brian, the first game came out in 2004. You've been waiting 15 years for this. Any pressure?
Yeah, tons of pressure. But yeah, we're going to make it work.
Well, you know what? I think there are people around the world watching this. And
Lo
of course,
cierran
the
a
and
esa
they all
hora
can't
para
wait to play
ponerlo
this game. Can you wait,
todo
guys?
En orden.
para el E3.
Ya.
So
Me
I think
imagino.
you've convinced everyone here now. When are we going to be able to play
No sé
the
qué ha
game?
dicho.
We're going Q1 next year.
Fantastic. And when can we learn more?
Pre-order, ahora.
Sí, sí, sí.
Están pre-alfa.
Thank you so much, Brian and Cara.
Habrá
Good
que
luck.
pillarlo
Give
ya.
it up, guys. Thank you so much.
Me espero un joven hombre.
Now, have you ever wanted
Está
to play
bien.
Dwarf Fortress in space?
Como en Layers of
Salamander
Fear.
is a space station sim from Ominux Games and Chucklefish. After a catastrophe on
Oh,
Earth,
ya está.
humanity has
Qué
launched
cara
a
de hija de
desperate
puta
attempt
tiene.
to find refuge among the stars. Your task is to manage a colony capable of sustaining
Se pone
life,
seria y
crafting
sonríe.
components, controlling colonists, and sending out crews to mine asteroids. But when you're living in
Pues
space,
esta
there
que,
can
si
be
no
big
recuerdo mal, es la que
consequences
sale
for
todos los
even the
años en el
smallest
PC Game Show.
mistakes. Let's take a look at
Yo
the brand new
no,
game
no los
for
conozco.
Salmancer.
Oh,
Chucle flis.
Chucklefish. ¿O Minus? Metal Gear.
Metal Gear todo esto, ¿no?
Sí.
Has dicho que es un glitch.
Bueno, a ver. ¿Oh? 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 ¡Hostias!
¿Un Sims?
¡Jo!
Estos juegos, si lo hacen bien, acaban viciando.
Si es multijugador, que supongo que sí. Cada uno con su zona. ¡Hostias! Buah, y visitando... Mira, esto me recuerda al Star Fox.
Oh, esto se ve de lujo.
¡Ojo! ¡Ojo, ojo! ¿Somos piratas espaciales? Dime que sí.
No, ese es el enemigo.
Bueno, pues los destrozamos.
¿Qué dice? Qué mono a ellos.
No me ha quedado claro, pero... Starmancer.
Ah, mira, tiene de beta.
Our
Starmancer.
next guests both started as
¡Jo! Las
modders,
puertas esas como molan, ¿no?
and
Los
now
portones.
they each
Starmancer,
independently
¿no?
run their
Era.
own studio. Let's welcome
Sí,
to
algo
the
así,
stage
mira.
from
No lo sé.
Tripwire, John Gibson,
Nah,
and from
pues ya
Torn
está.
Banner,
Ya
Steve
te digo,
Pickett.
este juego todo mucho que tenga realmente un multijugador, ¿eh?
A ver,
Now I
debería.
understand.
Sí,
Both you
parecía más
started as
como un
modders, working
FTL.
independently, now running your own studios. Talk to me about the collaboration that you started together.
Buah, la página no se puede entrar.
We've known the Torn Banner guys for a long
Ya ha petado.
time, even
Ya ha petado.
giving them some advice when they were
Tío, ¿en
modders,
serio?
going commercial,
¿Ha petado ya? No
helping
me
them not
jodas.
make the mistakes that we
No.
made. And we've been friends, and we've always wanted to work
Yo
together.
si hay
And
beta,
now we've sort
la
of
voy a probar.
formed this independent
A mí me mola.
former mod
Antes
team,
beta.
professional super group
Sí, sí, sí.
to
Pero es que no se
get
carga
an
la
awesome
página.
game out to fans.
Yeah, and for us, this is a dream partnership as well.
Star
We've always
Wars.
been really close with Tripwire, and we really respect their
E3.
games. We see them as one of the few studios that's bringing true innovation to the FPS genre, and that's what we're all about as well.
Well, let's take a look at this upcoming collaboration between Torn Banner and Tripwire.
Exclusivo.
World Exclusive.
No Premier.
Este lo hemos visto antes. Sí. No sé si tenía esta pinta, pero...
Han salido varios parecidos, pero...
No, ha salido este, ¿eh?
Joder,
El título es el mismo.
¿Cómo cambia la iluminación del VR, no?
Pero no había aparecido World Exclusive, ¿eh?
No, esto es Chivilari.
Chivalry.
O como sea, el otro era la compañía.
Chivalry 2. Pues puede ser. ¡Ahí va!
Este tiene una iluminación muchísimo mejor.
Oh,
¡Qué hostia la anda, pobre!
talk to me about Chivalry 2, Steve.
Well, Chivalry 2 is about
Starman.
bringing players into their favorite medieval
Amigo
movie
o sigo.
battle scenes. And our flagship game mode, Team Objective, does that by having players complete medieval objectives like sieging castles, raiding villages, and
Yeah, you're not just going and standing in an area and then a bar fills up. You're, like you said, burning houses, killing peasants, you know.
yeah.
Playing as peasants, getting killed.
It's really about letting the player experience every iconic
Alguien ha votado
moment of the
arquero y
era.
lo ha quitado.
And on top of that, this time around, we've increased the player count
¿Cómo?
scale to about 2.5
En la
times the
votación,
previous game.
alguien ha votado arquero y lo ha
64
quitado.
players. And on top of that increased scale, we've
Tío,
added horses,
a ver, voy a votar
really
también.
allows us to add a lot of drama to the game
Voy a ser
and
menos.
bring experiences like the Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones.
Don't worry, we'll ignore the last season. Just Battle of the Bastards is going to be in the game.
Yes.
All right, so I want to ask about the swordplay element to Chivalry 2. I mean, I know it's a really critical element.
Yeah, and this time around, we've completely revamped. I mean, we really view what we're doing here as bringing a true sequel in every sense.
Yeah.
We've attempted to completely revamp the combat, movement, and animation system
¡Qué bueno!
so that every swing, every action of the combat feels readable and fair, and also has the satisfaction and the weight that you expect when two medieval knights in full armor are clashing.
Yeah, and it's very, very fluid and much more accessible than the previous game. And it's, you know, the pace is so much quicker. It was what I really enjoy when I'm playing.
Es posible, ¿eh?
About the fluidity, because in a lot of melee combat
Porque va a salir una actualización que mejora
discrete, chunky times. I understand that
gráficamente, no sé, pero visual.
Yeah, we kind of think of it like
Sí,
when you're
y creo
swimming, where you're
quitaba
kind of
también-
constantly using both arms at the
Y
same
hablaron hace
time.
tiempo
And
de una
a
versión
core
para
part of our
gratuita
focus this time
sobre
around
el
is
primer
making
mapa
so that players
y
can
que
fight
consumía
multiple opponents at the
muchísimo
same
menos
time.
recursos
like 1-on-3,
del
1-on-4
ordenador.
situation.
Exactly,
que
'cause
era la
that's
versión de
fundamentally
móvil.
part of the
Pero para PC.
becoming the ultimate warrior fantasy
Right.
and achieving glory on the battlefield.
Well, I mean, I do have to ask, I'm talking about swordplay and mastery, but the original Chivalry
Las
thing is
7:15 ya,
silly
chaval.
fun. Like, how do you balance the mastery with the fun element?
Yeah, our goal has always been to make it so that players can take the game as seriously as they want to and also as silly as they want to.
Amigos, no os
We
enrolléis.
know that probably about half our audience plays the game
Buah,
drunk.
son.
And we love that.
Que a lo mejor hacen un concurso, la última, uno de
That's
los
an
años
important
hicieron un
metric to
concurso
track.
de
And the game has a
¿Tienes
huge influence from
10
Monty Python
minutos?
as well. I
No,
mean, in
o eran
the over-the-top
5 minutos para
voiceovers and the
comprar.
role-playing
No,
opportunities.
mentira, me estoy
I mean,
rayando.
the game is
Tienes
genuinely
un minuto para
hilarious.
comprar todo lo
As
que
an
te,
example, you
todo lo que
can
te dé la
beat a
gana
man
en
with
tu
a
cuenta
chicken
de
while
Steam.
quoting Shakespeare.
Like,
Andalucía
picking
con
up
ese?
a chicken as a
Yeah,
weapon,
physically
that's
¿Cena?
killing him to death with a
Well,
chicken.
that's excellent.
Anda,
Well, I mean, I
déjame
have
ver.
to ask. When can
Es que
people
alguien se
get
metió en la cuenta de
Chivalry 2?
Akumas.
So Chivalry
De
2
Twitch.
is coming out early 2020, and
Ahora
it's
sí,
coming
Leco.
first to the Epic Game Store.
Oh, look forward to
Estaba
checking
mirando a
out
ver si
early
dejaba ya
2020.
acceso
¿Has
al
visto?
juego.
John Gibson and Steve
¿Y
Page
qué dije ayer?
with
¿Qué os
Chivalry.
dije ayer?
Thank you so much. We are
Ahora-
just getting
ahora
started
déjalo
here
de
at
darme,
the
pero
PC
sigue sin
Gaming
dejarme
Show. Let's take a look at
transmitir.
what's coming up next.
Pero que la otra cuenta que
World
creé,
Premiere.
PC Gaming Show.
No.
la de Gmail tampoco deja todavía nada. Riz.
Build a world for wildlife in Planet Zoo.
Mira esto,
From the
Planet Zoo.
creators of Darksiders,
Hostia, esto creo que era el
from
zoo.
the ashes, Baldur's Gate 3,
Redmond.
and more trailers,
Cthulhu.
interviews,
Oh,
and gameplay footage.
Cachulo, o como mierda se diga.
Cthulhu.
Potorro. Mira, suena a Wii. Sonidico de Wii. ¿Qué es esto, loco?
No tengo ni idea. Pero la cabeza no concuerda con el cuerpo.
Tiene un culo pollo, chaval. Bueno. A ver, ¿qué enseña? ¡Uy! Mosaico. Bueno.
Y el juego
Tío,
ese que
¿qué es
jugaba lo
esto?
puedes descargar ya en Android. Y en iOS.
That was a brand new trailer for Mosaic, a dark and atmospheric adventure game coming later this
Wake
year from
up,
developer
samurai.
Killbyte and publisher Raw Fury. So how are you guys enjoying it so far? There's been some swords, some space stations, vampire puberty. We're listening to your reactions to the PC Gaming Show throughout the entire broadcast, no matter what platform you're watching and ranting on, so keep them coming. Our next game is a ghost-themed multiplayer hide-and-seek game inspired by a popular mod. Charge up your proton packs and get ready for Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Mira, otro
War exclusive. Coco. Bueno. Musiquilla.
Programas. Ah, no, que es un fantasma.
When the night falls, you can count on me, darling, if you only knew.
Con el detector de radiación.
Chernobyl.
It'll make you feel brand new. So just tell me, where are you? I got a big surprise for you.
La silla.
¡Dios! ¡Uy, uy! Esto hace en un momento, ¿no? ¿Es un fantasma? ¿Haze?
Uno es el fantasma y los otros tienen que capturarlo. ¡Mola!
¡Ojo,
De esto ya había un juego así del estilo, ¿no?
Sí. Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Mira, apúntate al alfa. O algo del alfa.
DLC. Colaboración de esta. Dios.
Joining me on the stage to talk about Midnight Ghost Hunt is the dynamic one-man team. Creative director, programmer, designer, it's Sam Malone!
Thank you for having me.
Sam, please tell us what is going on in that. What is Midnight Ghost Hunt all about?
So Midnight Ghost Hunt is a multiplayer ghost hunting hide-and-seek game. You can play as either as ghosts or ghost hunters, like a 4v4 format.
I see.
The ghosts can hide inside average everyday objects around the haunted house. The goal is to look like harmless furniture, but on the inside, they're not so harmless ghosts as you saw.
Yeah, and if I'm understanding correctly, it's not about hiding as a lamp to try to assault and take out a hunter. It's actually, you would do that so that way you can keep running away and continue to hide.
Exactly. So the main objective of the ghosts is to try to stay hidden as long as they can until the time runs out, until the clock strikes midnight. Midnight being kind of the hour of the ghosts, basically. They can fight back if they like, but in general, they want to try to hide. But if there's a hunter kind of off by himself, he can quickly just hit him in the back of the head and knock him out real quick, and he has less hunters to deal with at that point.
I see. Well, what's the identity of the hunters? I mean, we've been seeing furniture flying all over the place. What are the hunters doing?
So the hunters, it kind of can be divided into two different segments. The first part of the game is kind of almost like a detective game because they're sort of trying to figure out where the ghosts are hiding because it's not really
Esto sobra.
at first glance. So they've got gadgets like a footprint tracker, they've got like a radar like you saw, to try to narrow down where in the haunted house these ghosts are hiding, basically.
¿Cómo?
As soon as the first ghost is found, though, it starts getting a bit more chaotic. There's ragdolls flying everywhere, and they have that cannon to really try to smash the ghosts into pieces.
So those are kind of the two aspects of the Ghost.
I see. Well, talk to me a little bit about the inspiration for Midnight Ghost Hunt. I understand it's based on a Gary's mod called Prop Hunt.
Right. So that's definitely a big inspiration, but the big twist for us is that the props fight back. You saw the furniture, they hurl themselves at you, they knock you out, they send you flying. So it kind of almost becomes like this action hide-and-seek sort of mashup. You have a reason to be a little bit afraid of the things that you're hunting. So that changes up the dynamic a good amount, I think.
And I want to ask about when the clock strikes midnight. We saw the very spooky red color pop up. We didn't see what happens then. What's going on then?
So midnight, if even one ghost survives 4 minutes into the match, then you hear this ominous grandfather clock chime across the map. All the lights will actually flicker out. It'll get really dark and scary, and all the ghosts that were destroyed actually return as vengeful spirits. They're a lot more powerful than before, and they glow a very brilliant red.
Deja de poner la mierda esta de votar. Pasar al siguiente juego.
And they just need to try to work together to stay alive long enough for their evac to come, which is another 4 minutes or so. Usually the ghosts.
Tendríamos que asociar la cuenta de Akumas, de YouTube y de esto, en Twitter. Bueno, pero la de YouTube funciona ya.
Well, awesome. When can people get the chance to try out Midnight Ghost Hunt?
So we'll be running an alpha event later in the summer. You can sign up at midnightghosthunt.com. I'd also like to give a shout out to our Discord, discord.gg/midnightghosthunt. Later in the summer, we'll be giving out keys on our Discord as well as on our main website.
Well, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Malone from Vaulted Sky Games. For our next title, we got Frankie up in the balcony, and if I understand correctly, Frankie, this is a sequel.
You do understand correctly, Sean, yes. It's a big sequel to a small indie game. Unexplored 2 is a procedural adventure, a roguelike that challenges you to fight, to be clever, and to solve its mysteries. Explore a beautiful world, engage with its creatures, and befriend its people. Search for magic lakes and ancient statues until you die. And die again. This is Unexplored 2.
Mira, esta tía no me enseñó.
Big Sugar. Sugar Rush.
Esto. Muy cómic.
Oh, se te transporta.
Espérate, no vas buceando. Vas andando. Me creía que iba debajo del agua. ¡Ojo, eh! ¡Qué bonito!
Sí, qué paliza le van a dar.
¡Oh, gilipollas! Ese es Zalmont, míralo. Mira, la metió la paliza de verdad.
Rich, Doom Eternal se confirma para Switch.
Sí, me lo he dicho antes, hablando.
Pues nada, no hace tiempo. Nos lo mete. Con edición especial,
Es lo que le he comentado. A ver si esto es código o es cartucho.
¿Va andando encima del agua?
Sí, va andando encima del agua.
¡Dios! Bicharraco ese. A ver, se ve muy guay, muy bonito. Me recuerda a un juego indie que salió el año pasado.
¿Es World of Dito?
No.
Porque a mí me suena World of Dito.
No, es uno que llevaba así un brazo como de piedra, creo. No me acuerdo cómo se llama.
One of the biggest bang for your buck that you can get when building a new rig is investing in a new monitor. And here to talk about a groundbreaking new display is Samsung's Dean Dalcero. Welcome, Dean. What you got for us?
Samsung C27 RG5 curved gaming monitor.
Well, let's take a look.
Tienes más fallos que nosotros, el micro no le va. ¡Hostia!
El Pug. No, está en su Pug. ¿O sí? ¿Que no? Esto es el...
Tío, ya estoy dudando.
¿Seguro?
Sí,
también es el Pug, ¿no ves? Soy un máquina, chaval. Es un monstruo.
¿Se van a poner a hablar de tecnología así?
A mí mientras no me jodan más,
No, si tú estás hablando de monitores.
Ya. Samsung.
Dean, we've seen the video, and I gotta start asking. Talk to me about some of those juicy features and specs.
So it's a 240 hertz curved gaming panel. We believe it's the world first.
Escribo una
We
cosa
have
por
lag-free and tear-free
Discord.
performance. And we think that the curve, it's 1500 art radius,
No la
is going to be a
leáis.
very
En
immersive
voz alta.
experience you wouldn't get from a traditional flat panel.
And I wanted to ask a little bit about some of the color specs.
Vamos a ver.
Sure, it's a 3000 to
Todo
1
que
contrast
copia.
ratio. So you get those deeper blacks, brighter whites,
Right.
and hopefully you'll see your enemies first before they see you in the dark scenes.
Yeah, and I understand it also has G-Sync. I saw that flash up on the screen as well.
First G-Sync compatible monitor, so we're super excited about that.
Well, since this is the PC gaming show and we're showing off a huge variety of games here, what are the types of games that you would expect that 240 hertz refresh rate and the G-Sync to work well with?
Sure, so we think everybody's going to appreciate the speed and the performance, but ultimately, esports first-person shooters are really going to benefit.
Right. Well, of course, I have to ask, not just when is it available, but what type of
Son la
cost are we
hostia.
talking?
So the
Solo tenían que hacer
under
los monitores
$400
la propia
for
empresa
27-inch
cuando vaya a
panel.
poner algo.
So
No hay
it
un E3
expands our gaming
que
lineup.
esperamos videojuegos, no esperamos juegos
Because when you said
accesorios.
400, I mean, that's the 27 inch is the $400 number. Wow.
Yeah, so our gaming line will be expanded to 8 models, ranging from 24 all the way up to a 49-inch dual QHD. Check out samsung.com/gaming240 or see us in the back of the room for more info.
Yeah, that's right. For any of you in the audience, it's there. You can go there for it.
It is not 4K.
It's not 4K.
Not for that price point.
Well, I want to let you know that we have all sorts of great presentations and games coming up. Let's look at what's coming up in the PC Gaming Show.
Stay tuned for more announcements, trailers, and never-before-seen footage, including Gearbox answers burning questions about Borderlands 3. The next game from Play Entertainment.
¿De verdad?
Get ready
Sí,
to
ha-
rip
ha
the
nombrado
galaxy a
Borderlands
new wormhole
Que lo sé,
in
que lo sé.
Valfaris.
Sí lo estoy viendo.
And more.
And more.
¿Amor?
Qué loco.
And now the PC Gaming Show presents What's Next from FunCon.
Present. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the warm applause. It's very exciting for all of us at Funcom to be
Ah,
here
mola el
at the
tatuaje.
PC Gaming Show for the very first time ever. And naturally, we would like to show some
Madre
of the
mía,
cool
te
stuff
subes
that
ahí
we've been working on.
al
So,
escenario, tío,
without
imagínate a
further
Neo.
ado, here are some
Empieza
of
así
the
a
games
sudar como un
coming for
cerdo.
2019.
Todas las gotas cayendo, así en HD. ¿Te imaginas? Mira esto, Mutant Year Zero.
Imagino que ahí tendrá un buen aire acondicionado.
Switch,
Ya,
Switch.
supongo.
Ponen
Que sí,
Nintendo
que sí.
Switch.
Que sí.
¡Switch! ¡PC!
Y con el maquillaje y todo eso. Hacen maravillas.
A lot's happened since you've been traveling, Con. We could use your skills.
Mira, un
Este ya lo.
pato
¿Esto cómo se llama? Ah, bueno, si este.
Me está petando
Conan.
esto.
Hola.
Si esto ya está, ¿no?
¿Ah?
Esto ya está.
El 29, sí, ha salido en mayo.
¿Por qué enseñan cosas que ya están?
Yo no soy el que lleva la conferencia.
¡Dios!
Ya va, está todo de oro. De oro,
Santísima.
Así que es un dios y ataca.
Mons of Madness.
Este de los que te gustan a ti.
Ya está. Ojo, pues no tiene mala pinta.
Who would have thought? My son, off to fly among the stars.
Please welcome to the stage, founder and director of Mighty Kingdom, Philip Mays.
So yeah, at Funcom we've been doing our own games for over 26 years now. But recently we had the great pleasure to be working with some other very talented developers and help them publish their games. And on that note, I'd like to introduce Sr.Miaw. He is founder of Mighty Kingdom, a studio out of Australia, who has been working with us on something a little different.
Thank you.
¡Oh, mira Zalmont!
So on April 1st,
Están aquí,
we put out a
loco.
little trailer for something called Conan
Aquí el pez.
Akuma, paquete, banjo, vale, adiós.
Perhaps no
Usarla,
surprise
metede.
that people decided that was an April Fool's joke.
¿En serio?
So,
Chavas,
yeah,
El Salmón sigue intentando subir la cascada.
¿Por dónde lo ha dicho?
Por exclusive.
Oh, exclusivo.
Ojo. Increíble gráficos, macho. Buah. Impresionante.
Posiblemente el mejor juego.
La pasión de mi vida, ver hierba todo el día.
¡Toma, gráfico!
Pedazo de mierda, chaval. Lo sabía. Pedazo de basura. Mira, dice Anderson que ya está por casa. Entonces se viene lo que nosotros... ¡Ojo, Anderson! ¿No te estarás calentando?
Un momento, ahí ponía que...
¿Zelda?
Sí, lo están comparando con Zelda.
Iros a tomar por culo. A tomar por culo. Pedazo de mierda. Yo quiero mi hierba en HD. 8K. Si no, nada.
Porros?
Espera, tío. ¿Qué me estás contando? Son normales. La gente que aplaude, que se ha acabado.
Chop Chop, it's a roguelike action adventure game. It's very real, and it's coming to PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch on September the 3rd this year. It's 2019.
¿Va a salir para Switch?
We also have a playable version here at E3 at our demo room, so if you want to give stick figure Conan a try, then please don't hesitate to drop by. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Venga.
Last Oasis is a nomadic survival game set in a post-apocalyptic future where the Earth...
Mira, la alegre malota.
The last humans need to outrun the blazing sun in massive open...
Que pone caras como te voy a matar, pero soy feliz.
Sí, la típica mala de juego o de película.
Sí.
A player-driven economy and some
Mira,
incredible
tío.
death machines.
Me da miedo.
Coming to early access on Steam on July 15th, let's take a trip to the last Oasis.
Ojo, Nier 2. O sea, Nier 2. Automata 2. Ojo, Ojo, el musicote. Bueno, a ver, igual me he calentado.
En lo del anterior juego dice que esto no está, que el juego ese no estaba muy lejos de verse como un buen Zelda 2D.
Sí, más listos.
Se veía demasiado cartoon, demasiado mal.
¿Esto qué mierda es?
Yo qué sé.
No me gusta.
Ahora parece que se ve algo.
Es el Pug, pero con máquinas de estas de mierda.
Juegos indie.
No me gusta. ¡Ojo! Madre mía, tecnología punta.
No le gusta el juego, pero sí que le gustan las metralletas de flechas.
Me llama la atención las armas, pero ya está. No me gusta. Venga, siguiente.
Venga, va, siguiente. El último.
Ojo, pero el nombre el logo mola. ¿Y esto? Planetfall. Ah, es el Planetfall este.
Es un juego en tiempo real, de estrategia. Ah, no,
El
es
gay.
por turno. Cuando te sigues suele ser por turno.
Yo tengo aún la página aquí del Star Mancer, Yo quiero ver la beta.
Son fictivos, dinosaurios con láseres. de robots gigantes, me cago en la hostia. Esto que le ha hecho un tío que estaba hasta las trancas de gorro. Y un pingüino, chaval. Pingüinos atacando. Ya está confirmado. Le ha hecho un tío hasta las trancas de gorros.
No hay beta, de esto.
The name of the game is Age of Wonders Planetfall, a 4X strategy game, and joining me on the stage to talk about it is the game director Leonard Sass and principal gameplay developer Tom Bird. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Good to be here.
Welcome, guys.
So, Leonard, just give us the gist of what Age of Wonders Planetfall is all about.
Sure. Age of Wonders is a turn-based strategy game where you play as one of the survivors of a shattered galactic empire. At the start of the game, you choose or create your own faction.
Yeah.
They include the Vanguard Expeditionary Forces, who are in cryosleep when everything went to hell. There's scavenging cyborgs, or the Amazon bioengineers who ride dinosaurs into battle.
Yeah. You know, I want to ask, because there's a pretty broad range of 4X strategy games. To give a sense of what the gameplay is, I just want to start from the beginning of a game. What happens when you first land on the planet?
Well, each race has their own spaceship. The spaceship comes down onto the planet. The planet is where the entire game takes place. And that spaceship will then transform into your capital colony, where your entire empire begins, your sort of attempt to take over the world. Around you, you've got a number of sectors, and each of these sectors has a little story. Well, not most of them. So
Siguiente conferencia, ¿qué hora es?
lab, which is still full of horrible mutant creatures, an entertainment complex overrun by horrible robot monsters, a temple with holes in the sky and horrible demons.
¿Cuánto dura esta?
And I did see in the
Estás
trailer
informado,
dinosaurs with lasers, correct?
Sí, ¿no?
Perfect.
Así no.
No, sorry.
Siguiente la de Limited Games a las 9.
I'm so sorry to disappoint all of you. No cast with lasers. You have to settle with dinosaurs. You know, I saw the expansive tech tree show up in the game briefly, and I know that growing resource and tech is a huge part of strategy games. How does that function?
Right, so part of these tech trees
Bueno, eso será mañana cuando salga mañana.
represent the past of where you came from. They include new units, new modules for your unit, like jetpacks for your troopers, orbital lasers
Square Enix,
you can launch from space.
veremos lo de Avengers, que es lo único que me interesa, así más o menos. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, a lo mejor.
Comes from your secret technology, and that's all about the future of your
Hombre,
faction.
sí que estoy esperando a ver cuándo sale.
A combination between man and machine, or man and
A ver.
humans.
Yeah.
Others include doomsday technologies that allows you to infect the entire
Technology.
population with alien brain-eating parasites, or win the game by splitting space-time.
I love how many details you're giving me of the horrors that await on the planet.
The future is not a pretty place.
Well, I want to ask about some of the combat that we saw, because in a lot of strategy games, the combat can be very brief. It just, you know, shows two armies fighting off each other. But I understand that the tactical layer is quite rich.
Right, so when combat starts, you'll see, like on the world map, maybe like a little sort of.
Que no, que se está haciendo en diferentes directos. El de antes y el de ahora.
All the way in, and you will be inside the lab. You'll see all the pipes and all of the goops flowing around. All of your units, which you've been putting together and built, are now deployed in turn-based combat. You use them into cover, use their abilities.
Yo también quiero ver Avengers, a ver lo que sale de ahí. Va a estar guapo, Si lo hacen bien, de verdad.
Maybe you've chosen the Kirko, sort of horrible alien bug monsters. They run forwards and slash people and puke acid on them. That kind of thing.
Solo sé que no va a salir en Switch. Por ahora. Porque Nintendo es así y le gusta anunciar las cosas en su este. Por cierto, tenemos que hacer que a lo mejor los tienen las miniaturas Zalmont de los directos estos dos
The game is
últimos.
due this August 6th. It's going to be available on PC, multiple platforms, consoles, and it's available for pre-order now.
Well, lovely. Hey, what's that URL?
It's aow-planetfall.com.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's less than 2 months away. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me up on the stage.
No. Creo que sale en 2020. Creo que lo dijeron ya,
And for our next game, Frankie, I have to ask you, what year is it?
Why? The year is
Porque se
1946, Sean,
filtró
my dear boy.
muchas
Europe
cosas.
lies in ruins torn apart by the satanic Plan Z.
¿Cómo es esta la
brave
feliz
band
malota?
of heroes cast the Fuhrer into hell, but little do they know the nightmare
Tío,
is far from
me jodas, me da miedo.
Achtung!
Cómo gesticula.
This is the world exclusive reveal of the next shooter from the makers of Sniper.
Yo subí una entrevista de trabajo, esta pava no quiero que me... entrevista. Pues salgo corriendo.
Que lo mismo se te pone dentro del armario cuando acabe la presentación, ¿eh?
Cállate, anda, cállate. Qué doble hostia.
No actual game footage, no reproduce.
Sí, 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 footage. Footage. Footage, footage.
Lo digo como le da la gana, ¿eh?
Footage. ¿Más de zombies?
No, creo que es guerra. Ah, no, zombies, tío.
Iros a tomar por culo con la mierda los putos zombies. Hijos de puta. Es que me dais un puto asco increíble. Me tenéis hasta la polla de tanto zombie. Y solo es una puta cinemática, que sí, que pueden estar guapas, pero luego son todo lo puto mismo. ¡Ahí va! Se mola. ¿Qué hace? Ah, vale, que es un zombie también. Mira Singed. Tiene sonidos del Tiny Splinter, ¿eh? No digo nada. Sí, Crytek aún sigue. La compañía. Porque podrían hacer un remaster de los Tiny Splinter. De los tres. Tiny Splinter Collection. Con online. Uf, con el ratón, chaval. Madre mía. Haciendo el modo historia. No, madre mía. Con vosotros. Qué guapo sería. Un mono zombie por ahí, tío. El sacerdote, ¿cómo era? El sacerdote... Zombie, chaval. Era mi personaje. Footage.
Ahora ven.
No, yo tampoco le confío a Square. A Square. ¿Hitler?
Sí, Zombie Army War, Dead War 4. Me queda
Bastar.
Later on the PC gaming show. A love letter to classic JRPGs. What's next for Warframe?
Yeah, Warframe.
A surreal noir adventure.
Han dicho que iban a hablar de él.
During and after the Big Bang. Baldur's
Oh,
Gate
qué bonito, ¿no?
and more.
Vale, ¿se ya ha anunciado?
¿Sí?
Sí, ese yo he visto.
De los primeros.
No, de los primeros no. Creo que lo anunciaron en la de Microsoft.
Sangre, violencia y lenguaje obsceno. Esto le interesa a Anderson. Perfect Dark.
Without reason. We are victims to a hatred that we do not understand.
Más zombies. Zombies monstruos.
Will consume our world
Ahí va.
and the countless worlds beyond. Unless you
Que se han abierto las puertas del infierno y viermos. Ah, vale.
and blood. Who seek the source of death itself. Prepare yourselves.
Pedazo de garras, chaval.
Here.
Sigue activa. Bueno, sigue activa. Haciendo no sabemos qué, pero...
Por ahora solo he visto combates contra bosses.
Sí, este ya lo habíamos visto.
Joining me on the stage to talk about Remnant from the Ashes. In that trailer, we got the chance to see so much new gameplay footage and new environments. Let's welcome the CEO of Gunfire Games, David Adams. So David, I want to ask right away, for those who are unfamiliar with Remnant from the Ashes, what kind of game is it?
So Remnant's a co-op action shooter set on an apocalyptic Earth and across a bunch of cool fantasy worlds.
And I mean, in that trailer, we got the chance to see a huge variety of different environments. Like, what are these different places? Who's the player in this story?
So as a player, you're on sort of a Odyssey-like quest to save the world, and we really wanted to have a bunch of different cool locales that you go to just to experience a bunch of different stuff. And you start on Earth, but it rapidly changes very quickly as you get into the game.
And one thing that we've talked about before is that replayability is a huge focus of the game, that you could play through it 10 times and still be seeing new bosses, new monsters, new locations. How exactly does that work?
Yeah, I think one of the coolest features of the game is the dynamic generation system. So we generate the maps, the enemies, the quests, NPCs, bosses, everything.
You've built those all by hand, right?
Yeah, it's all hand scripted, but the system takes all the pieces and stitches it together. So you might play the game and come into work and say, hey, I talked to a giant tree and fought a dragon boss.
Esto no puede ser así,
guy in a helicopter, an old guy in a
Por
helicopter,
favor.
and killed a tree ant. And we'd have completely different experiences playing the same game.
And you just have to keep going through and eventually explore what all the possibilities are.
Yeah, you can play the game over and over again to see the stuff. You can jump into your friend's world to experience the content in their world, and that's a big part of the game, just jumping in and seeing what you get.
Well, I want to ask about loot, which is, I understand, a big part of the game. How does it function alongside this ever-shifting gameplay experience?
Yeah, the loot in the game is all legendary items, and it's tied into the dynamic generation. So if you fight a boss, or meet an NPC, or get a cool, unique side quest, it generally coincides with a cool, unique item. It might be a boss weapon, or a magical item, or armor. So
Sí, es un gameplay. No sé de qué. Ah, bueno, de esto, del juego este.
In the trailer, I also saw that
Que no sé ni lo que estoy viendo ya.
you mentioned the co-op experience. How does co-op function?
Yo sé que me he echado la siesta.
So the game is full co-op from beginning to end. You can jump in at any point, and the game's definitely slower paced.
Por favor, vale.
I mean, you will die a lot in this game.
Está cojonudo, pero
There's
pasa
a
al
huge advantage
siguiente.
to bring your friends to come in there and help you take down bosses or fight off different events and just generally progress through the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a big fan of Bloodborne and Dark Souls, I'm really looking forward to Remnant from the Ashes. What's the release date, and where can people go for more information?
So Remnant's coming out August 20th on PC and
Por favor,
Xbox
señores.
and if you
Iros a la
pre-order the game
mierda.
now, you can actually get in early and start playing the game August 16th.
Well, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, David Adams from Gunfire Games. Thanks so much for talking to us about Remnant.
Oh,
And as we mentioned earlier, keep those questions coming. I will be asking on stage the creative director of Borderlands 3
Sí que estoy
everything
asqueado.
you want to know. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, just use hashtag PCGamingShow. And until that time, let's talk about our next title. This one
¿Por qué me
was
río del
announced
acento?
2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show.
No tengo nada en contra de vosotros, señores. Pero es que estoy cansado.
It's changed quite a bit in the last 2 years. It's now a deck-building roguelike where you don't just fight, but you also negotiate your way through a broken-down sci-fi world. It's going to be available on the Epic Game Store in one short month on July 11th in alpha. Let's take a look at some of the footage of what you'll be playing.
¿What? Oh, no, por favor. ¡Ojo! Que se ha cabreado. Coño, paten caitos. Paten caitos cutre. ¿Y ahora qué, tío?
Palizón.
¿Qué de cozos hay? Bueno, cozos con pelo. Griftland. Se puede ir.
El alfa para el 11 de julio. O sea, para el mes que viene.
Planet Zoo is the latest
¿Por
game
qué
from the
gritáis,
makers
macho?
of the brilliant Planet Coaster.
Si sois cuatro mataos.
Welcome Piers Jackson and Lisa Bowens from Frontier Developments.
El terror, tu terror.
Now, Piers.
El terror de los nenes, míralo. Mírala.
So Planet Zoo is a new management sim game from us.
Y tan bajo presupuesto.
Building and looking after a modern zoo, and you get to look after the most authentic animals we believe you've ever seen in a video game. Each of our animals are unique. They have their own needs, their own desires.
Es que lo bueno, macho, de ver tanta gente, cada uno se expresa de una manera y tú, algunos te hacen gracia, otros no.
Really excited to show everyone here
Pero
a
mola.
gameplay video and to announce our launch date.
Oh, fantastic. Let's buy the world's
No, esto me da miedo. El otro me da...
Take a look inside.
No risa, pero...
Esto me da miedo.
Pug.
No.
No. El Planet Zoo este. Ojo el lobo. Ojo el elefante. Ojo. 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 Madre mía. Increíble. Pero moviendo... un maltrato de animal. Increíble. ¡Hostia! Pedazo de ñordos, chaval. Mira cómo recogen las mierdas, chaval. Solo por recoger las mierdas me pillo el juego, te lo juro. Mira los buenos. Están bien hechos los animales. ¡Mira Banjo! ¡Mira Didi! ¡Mira el Capitán Bluebird! ¿No será esto Banjo-Kazooie 3? ¿Banjo 3? Madre mía, increíble.
Lisa, I love some of the animal shenanigans here. I mean, hippos pooing. Adorable baby elements. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to play it. But before we saw the
La feliz
trailer,
manota.
you mentioned this is a modern zoo, but what exactly does that mean?
So nowadays when you go to the zoo, you're not just going to see all the lovely, pretty animals. You go there, you want to be, you know, learning about conservation, you want to learn about the research that they're doing, you want to be educated. And these are all things that you're going to be able to do in Planet Zoo. And these ideas of the modern zoo is really what we take to heart, and we're going to be promoting, you know,
Pues sí, que enseña el
the
Pug.
welfare of your
No digo yo que no,
as the most important thing to do.
And here's when can we see more gameplay, and when are we going to be able to get our hands on it ourselves?
So we're obviously demoing the game all this week at E3, but most people aren't going to be able to see that. So we've recorded our presentation. Lisa's done a fantastic voiceover for it, and we'll be releasing that onto Frontier's YouTube channel. That goes live
Menos mal que no
this
está
Friday at
Zalmont.
11 a.m.
Si no me estaría echando la bronca.
I cannot wait to
Cerdo.
watch. Thank you so much for joining
Pero
us.
sí que más da. Si todos somos...
Pero si tú eres el primero que la suelta.
Ya, pero que no pasa nada, hombre. Son cosas de la vida.
All the way from Japan.
No sé qué de Japón.
Y esta está aquí de... Pues si el otro se atasca hablando. ¿Qué Kojima? ¿Qué estoy diciendo de Kojima? Es un normal. Solo faltaba eso, ver al palomo ese aquí.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the stage is a legend of Japanese game development. It's Mr. Yu Suzuki.
Señor japonés. Señores.
Hello, everyone.
¿Ah, que son famosos?
In addition to being the brains behind the following games, Hang On, Space Harrier, Outrun, Afterburner, Virtual Racing, and Virtual Fighter,
No tengo el placer, amigos.
also created the Shenmue series. And he's here to talk about Shenmue 3 right now. Take it away, Yusan.
この場に立てて光栄です。Standing on the stage today.
Sí. Ya decía yo que hablaréis vosotros inglés. Cabronazos.
I just want to say thank you to all the fans supporting me for the long 20 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
The wait is
Ay, coño, qué susto me has dado, imbécil.
That's right. Let's take a world exclusive look at Shenmue 3.
¿Qué dices tú? World exclusive. Madre mía. Cute.
Honestly, I don't think your kung fu is strong enough.
Grandmaster,
Bueno, pues venga, a los que os gusta esto ya podéis estar saltando. Ya le diría.
Ya puedes estar
Nunca lo juego, nunca lo he jugado. Esto es un juego de... Hostia, me creía que se iba... Que iba a ser un Tekken. Así de una. No sé por qué. Bueno, sí sé por qué.
Porque la gama está posicionada exactamente como el 20.
Sí.
El 3.
Shenmue 3.
What did you say to me?
Tío, qué cara más rara tiene, loco.
They threaten and extort money from shop owners, get drunk by noon and cause trouble.
Igual esto
Everyone in town is afraid of them.
es un poco simple, ¿no?
They are heartless.
Hombre, los últimos creo que eran de...
Buah, las expresiones faciales dejan mucho que desear, ¿eh?
This is him, the Japanese guy who got in our way. You've got some guts to barge
Pero ¿qué es eso, loco? ¿Qué tienen los brazos? ¿Tumores?
Yo qué sé. Se supone que son músculos.
Supone.
I know so many people have been waiting for Shenmue 3. I would like to once again thank you so
Zalmont.
much. Thank you, Yusan, for joining us today. Thank you.
Venga, thank you.
Everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now our next title is near and dear to my childhood heart. It's based upon a game I grew up playing called Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Let's take a look at an upcoming collaboration between Coffee Stain Studios and Lava Potion.
No me entero de nada.
Yo sí me he enterado. Lava Potion. Hostia, mola. ¿El Octopath? Esto no es el Octopath, ¿eh?
No.
No.
El Octopath tiene uno
El Octopath lo van a enseñar en el Square Enix.
Sí.
Oh, pero mola, ¿eh?
Ya, pero es que el Octopath tiene el pixel art... El pixel art...
Pixel art.
Más...
Sí. Más bonito, es más bonito. Sí.
Con una cámara más lejana.
Pero que esto mola. Esto también es bonito. ¡Ojo!
Algo interesante mientras no estaba.
Buah, todo.
¡Buf! Banjo 3, ¿sabes?
Ya enseñó el Banjo.
No es coña. Madre mía. ¿Ya está?
Canciones y conquistas. Una aventura de estrategia clásica.
Madre mía. Ojo el
The
Riz.
name of the game is Songs of Conquest, and here to join me in talking about it is the lead designer from Lava Potion, Carl Toftfeld.
Ojo,
Carl.
contrató a un mierda.
Let's just start off for anyone who maybe hasn't played the Heroes of Might and Magic series. What is Song of
Que me ha saltado aquí una noticia de aquí de Alba. Que no tiene desperdicio.
From there you recruit
Así lo
your
encuentro otra
wielders,
vez.
what we call our commanders, and you recruit an army, and then you kind of send off your wielders on an adventure. And they go exploring the world, they pick up resources to flag mines, and with those resources, you upgrade your town, so you can get more stuff, and that's kind of what you do.
Sí, las caras necesitaban arreglos.
Yeah, and you know, I know that part of the core loop is
A las 8:45 creo que podré estar.
For what reason? Armies, man. Talk to me about those juicy
Zalmont.
Yeah, so the battle, just like the whole game, is turn-based.
Contrató un sicario de Albacete para matar a su...
Start by deploying them, and then all the troops have different stats, like offense and defense and health and so on.
Esto aquí en
They go
Albacete.
in initiative order, and then you slug it out, and it's a bit like chess, but
Bueno,
instead
sí lo
of
he dicho.
like pawns and bishops, you have like horned ones and face spirits.
Great, and griffins and so on.
Yeah, and all those things.
And well, you know, as someone who just loves the Heroes of
me ha
Might and
parado.
Magic series, I know that you
Vale,
have
ya.
translated a lot of the gameplay elements into Songs of Conquest, but what are some of the modern elements that you're bringing in?
Well, there's a lot of it, but I mean, one of them is our magic system. We call it the essence. So basically, in the Songs of Conquest universe, everything has an essence within them, so like the soul. So your troops, they have an essence.
¿Cómo?
And to do magic, you need to bring
Ah,
the
vale,
essence,
las botas
the
esas,
right
sí.
essence with your wielders.
Oh, I see.
Sí,
So
sí,
if you
sí.
want to like make your troops go faster, you need to bring a troop that has that essence, like cavalry.
And maybe to ask a basic question, what if my opponent kills that cavalry?
Then you can't do the magic. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're fighting someone, you kind of have to like weigh the pros and cons of what to kill off. Like, do you want to destroy their magic or their powerful troops?
Where can people go to get more information? And as always, when's it coming out?
Late 2020.
Oh, it's quite a ways off.
It's quite a ways off, but you can go to songsofconquest.com and sign up for alpha, and then you can play earlier.
Por favor.
As you
Dejar de
know,
hablar.
I'm really looking forward to playing it, Carl. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, our next title is an update to a popular co-op game. Let's see what's in store for Vermintide 2.
World Exclusive. 21 horas para el Nintendo Direct. No me gusta esto ya. A lo mejor luego sí.
No me gusta, hola, hola.
A ver, de primeras no me gusta.
Tiene pinta de Warhammer.
Mira, Twitch. Twitch es un personaje del LoL.
Pero si tú ves que los estables de Warhammer.
La puta rata, loco.
¿Ves? Warhammer, me he aceptado.
Cago en la puta. Antes lo teníamos al mismo tiempo. Dale al F5, Riz.
Entonces jode directo también.
You just saw the reveal
Es verdad, no
of the
le
new
des.
PvP mode coming to Vermintide 2, which turns the Warhammer Fantasy cooperative game into something even more brutally competitive. It looks deliciously vile, and surely dismembering Scraven is so much more satisfying when you know you're going ham on a fellow player, making him or her cry little baby rat tears behind their computer screen. You can sign up now for the Vermintide 2 Versus beta at vermintide2.com/versus. In Per Aspera, you're an artificial consciousness orbiting Mars, whose ultimate purpose is to terraform the planet, starting from a single drone in your landing site and turning the planet into a flourishing second home for humanity. Courtesy of developer Talon Industries and publisher Raw Fury, here's a first ever look at Per Aspera.
Mira, mira el armario, creo que se te acaba de meter.
¿Quién?
La chica esta.
Pues que se quede ahí. Elysium. Tartarus. ¿Lemuria? Tarsis, pone ahí. Monte Tarsis. Sinaí. Esto, ¿qué cojones es? Ojo, ya me mola, ¿eh?
Amy, are you with us?
Terraria están diciendo por ahí.
Of course, I'm with you, Houston.
Me mola. Ya. Ya pierde.
Un juego de recursos.
Espera.
In the Assassin's Creed universe, our next guest sent players back in time to rewrite history. But for his debut project with indie studio Panache Digital Games, he's going to take us back 10 million years to where humanity began. Here to tell us all about ancestors is creative director and co-founder Patrice Desolé. Welcome, Patrice.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Ojo.
I've been waiting 10 years to come back on a big stage and be showing off a game.
Qué alegría, loco.
It's fantastic to have you back. I just want to ask, what inspired you to tell the story of human evolution?
Well, when I started Panache, I needed a game,
Tengo mucha luz, ¿no?
an open world game in which you can do a lot of things. You need a character in a 3D environment at first. And I said, oh, I'm the historical guy, I'm the historical dude, so I need an historical period. They said, oh, let's go back at the very beginning. It'll be easier to do, because I won't have to build a city, I won't have to build technology, and I was a bit naive, because we built Africa 10 million years ago. And that's not easy to build.
It doesn't sound easy. I mean, how have you turned those themes into gameplay?
Well, you play our last common ancestor, right, of all the big apes, and then you have to explore your environment, and eventually you expand your territory, you expand your clan, because you're not playing that one badass character. You play a group of badass characters. And eventually you evolve into different species, up until Lucy the Australopithecus roughly 2 million years ago.
I imagine our ancestors had a lot more issues to deal with than we do today. There's going to be a lot more dangers in this
Monkey Simulator?
Well, it's all about from a prey to a predator. Basically, at the beginning of the game, everybody is there to kill you and devour you. And basically, at the end, it's pretty much you. You're the predator and everybody's afraid of you. And that's the idea of ancestors, the human.
Hostia, los árboles.
So, Patrice, ultimately, what is the key to
Donkey Kong Simulator.
Curiosity. You need to explore because, you know, I made a game about characters and you needed to follow the story I wrote for you. This time, you're basically writing the story, right? There's no story per se inside. It's not about going and see mission givers. It's not about looking at the meaning
Mira
of
los
the
humanos,
little
chaval.
dots. It's about you, hey, Homo sapiens. Can you survive like our ancestors did?
¿quién no
And
quiere
that's
ser
the
humano?
question I'm asking the players. It'll be for you to answer that question August 27th.
Well, I was going
on PC first.
I was going to ask you when we can see it, and you answered my question first. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
I'm getting
Patrice.
good at this.
As Patrice says, Ancestors will be released August 27th, and you can learn more at ancestorsgame.com.
Thank you.
Me daría miedo coincidir con la... ¿Ya está? ¿Nada más?
No sé, espero. Hombre, Ancestors se llama por...
Mira qué pezoncillos tiene el monete. Este mola, ¿no? ¡Ojo! Un pato, tío, una oca, un...
El robo de la boca.
Mira, el Batten Kaito es impostor. Phantom Brigade. La brigada fantasma.
Toma fantasma, macho.
Dios, chaval. Atomicros. Rune 2.
Anda, que juega al Rune en Windows XP.
Dios, chaval.
Se parece de buena pinta.
Ojo, este también mola, eh. Ojo, ese por el bosque por ahí, patinando.
Ya ves.
Se viene. ¿Qué es esto?
No sé, no ha funcionado. ¡Hostia, vale! Esto es, creo que es el lot de ajedrez.
Pueden pasar al siguiente juego o acabar ya.
Ah, sí,
Autos locos.
No, autochess.
Please welcome to the stage, Loring Lee,
Pero por
founder and
favor.
CEO of Dragon Nest.
Indeed, auto chess has turned out to be a sensation. With
Hostias
hundreds of
hablando,
thousands, millions of players getting a taste of it, and here to talk about its coming to PC is Loring Lee. Take it away, Loring.
Yeah. Hello,
¿El
everyone.
señor este otra vez?
I'm Loring Lee.
Ah, no.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Y qué
I'm
cara,
the
más
CEO
redondica.
and founder of Dragon's Game. Dragon's Game is a game developer and publisher. Comes from China. I'm so happy to be
China.
here today on this stage to
O sea, que no es japonés,
introduce
es
our
chino.
game, Auto Chess, to all of you. This is really an
No
exciting
lo sé.
moment for
I
us.
don't know.
As the trailer says, this is a real engaging game of auto chess. Dragon's now is working with the creator of auto chess, Jodo Studio.
Hostia, John Wick en
Level
Animal Crossing.
creator to bring
Qué guapo.
auto chess to your world, both on PC and mobile, so that everyone from anywhere with any device can enjoy the same fun of auto chess. Now we are building the PC version with by using the game engine of Unreal Engine 4. As everyone knows, Unreal Engine is one of the best game engines of the world. With the help of Epic Games and by the power of Unreal, I believe we can finish our job quickly and efficiently. And today, I'm very glad to announce the PC version
Señor.
of Auto Chess will be coming to the Epic Game Store. I look forward to all
Es que no le estoy prestando
Auto
atención.
Chess on PC.
No sé lo que está diciendo.
Okay,
Neku,
thank
traduce.
you everyone.
Thank you, Loringly.
Yeah, cool.
De nada, hombre.
Thanks so much for sharing the news with
El
us.
juego está en móviles.
Once again, Auto Chess, if you have not
Es de
played, you
móviles.
must check it out. It is so fun. Our next title,
No, he
with
dicho que está en
Frankie up
móviles.
above, I understand is an inspired indie game.
We'll find out, Sean, because one of the things we love about PC gaming is the way that game
Me hagáis
creators all
sufrir
over the
más.
world can draw inspiration from one another's work. Chris Tales is a great example of that.
Mi
A
alma
gorgeous
necesita
indie love
descansar.
letter to classic JRPGs developed by a team in Colombia. Chris Tales' spin on the genre brings a unique perspective that lets you see the past,
No, se
present,
queda de
and
Colombia,
future
dicho.
on one screen at the same time. So you'll
Sí,
see the
el tío
future
de Colombia.
change based on your decisions in real time. Here's the world
Me
exclusive
alegro,
appeal
mujer.
of Chris Tales.
Exclusivo.
War exclusive. Bueno. ¡Ojo! ¡Ojo la canción!
What is and what would be.
Would
you change
Hostia,
it?
que premios, ¿no?
Could you make the hard decision? And would you be strong enough to fight?
Two Steps from Hell.
If you learn
Sigue
from the
pasando
past
y
and
futuro a la
act
vez.
in the present, you can rewrite the future.
Crisis Tales.
Chris Taylors.
Coloca la demo ahora en este.
Pues se han coronado, chaval, con la música.
Tiene la
In
mano.
PC gaming,
¡Ojo!
it's not the size of your
No,
weapon,
te he dicho yo que no me
it's how
fiaba
you
de esta
use it.
tía.
And I'm holding one of the, well, quite frankly, it's a bit average, isn't it? It's just your average, you
Pero
know.
si no
Si no
puedo
puedes
apretar
con
el
ella.
gatillo.
It's
Si
one
no
of the
puedo apretar el
ridiculous
gatillo.
alien weapons from our next game, Valfaris. A brutal, heavy
Mira,
metal
ahora está
infused
sonriendo.
2D
Dios, si es que
action
estaba
platformer
sonriendo
inspired by
y
two
en un
old school classics like Contra and Turrican. Assuming the role of fearless warrior Therion, players must blast and slash their way through the doomed citadel of Valfaris, overcoming its deadly
Anda,
environment
suelta los
and
armatos,
enemies
tío.
before challenging the arcane
No,
evil.
dispáralo y
It's very
destruye la
hard.
humanidad.
Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole. From publisher Big Sugar, this is Valfaris.
¡Ah, guay!
Ah, vale. En contra este.
¡Hostias! ¡Ojo! Empieza bien, ¿eh? ¡Hostias! 3D de estos de... Low poly. ¿Hola?
Hostia.
¡Hostias, chaval!
¿Los creadores de Slane? Back to the Hell.
¡Guau, chaval!
Porque estos son. El estilo gráfico es clavado. Y la música también. Ahora espero que no la acaben confusión con el Slane. Que tuvieron que arreglarlo.
Just
Mola.
incredible action in the Valfaris
Mola.
trailer. I'm very excited for our next guest. In case you have not been in downtown LA, E3 is covered with Borderlands 3 art. It's amazing, it's beautiful. And joining me is
Está a punto de
the
soltarme
amazing
el
and
pelo.
beautiful Paul Sage,
Musicote,
creative
desde
director
luego que
of
musicote, ¿no?
Borderlands 3.
Beautiful's a new one, thanks.
Yeah, there you
A este
go,
señor sí que
Paul.
le dejo hablar, hombre.
I mean,
Va a gustar el juego.
So much hype around Borderlands 3. What's the stuff you're really
Entonces no,
excited to be
no me
sharing
interesa.
this year at E3?
Oh man, so we've talked about our vault hunters. Well, this time we get to talk about Mose, and she is our gunner vault hunter. So she has a big mech.
El puto juego ese mola un huevo loco el de
We're
antes.
talking about the different loot such as shields, grenades.
Solo por la música.
So a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I want to start right off with Mose. Tell us everything you can about her.
Okay, yes, I'll tell you everything I can. So Mose, again, like I said, she's a mech pilot. She has this big mech. It's called Iron Bear. She gets into Iron Bear.
Yeah.
We have multiple action skills, which means that she can equip either a minigun or a railgun or a flamethrower.
¿Cómo se llama el puto juego
Barbecue your enemies, something like that.
Balfaris.
Yeah, Mose is a terrifically fun character for us right now.
Now, we've been excited to be collating a whole bunch of community questions. We're going to break them into two categories. First, there's a whole bunch of repeat questions that I want to make sure we get to right now. One of the big categories is about loot, because you've mentioned having a billion guns earlier, but what can you tell us about some of the other gear, the other progression systems in the game?
Yeah, so let's talk about grenades, like one of my favorite things that we don't get to talk about a lot. So in the past, we've had grenades that they've had like one thing. They can bounce, they can stick to different things, This time, we're combining like all of those things. So for instance, the other day I was playing and I threw a grenade and that grenade had a bounce, it would stick, an explosion would come out, and the grenade would fire guns as it was going through, right? So we have like a ton of different grenades that are in there.
Bueno, es una demo.
What?
¿Qué ha pasado?
That shield will stand out in front of you, so just tons of different things that we have with our characters. Class mods are unique, and they give you skills this time as well as enhancing the skills you currently have.
I also remember earlier you mentioned about artifacts.
Pues el Balfaris está ya para descargar, o sea, una demo.
Kind of concentrated on hey, does the game feel fluid? Can I slide into things? Can I jump? Can I mantle? Right. So when we were playing with that, we slid into a barrel, right? And the barrel exploded, and we're like, well, that's kind of fun. Yeah. So why don't we do something like that? So our artifacts actually add certain things to movement. So for instance, you can slide faster, you can slide, and every time you slide, there's an explosion.
Bueno, Neku, ¿qué opinas de todo esto? ¿Cómo lo estás viendo?
Second category of questions unrelated to loot. Well, there's going to be a single-player campaign. What's going to be happening after the campaign?
No esperaba mucho de esta conferencia.
Endgame content that you can talk about.
Ojo, pues.
Endgame content. Okay, well, it's E3, so I give
Lo del Shenmue 3 ha estado de puta madre.
Borderlands before, you might remember Badass Ranks.
El Shenmue no ha estado muy bien. Bueno, han enseñado cosas
We doubled down on that.
y
We
ya
have what we
está.
call Guardian Ranks.
Las expresiones faciales y todo eso.
But it has skills.
Ya, eso le queda más trabajarlo más todavía.
And the cool thing about that is like
Descargando a Balfaris. Descargado Balfaris.
Gets the benefits of
All right, last category we're going to go through, and then we're going to hit some rapid-fire questions.
Ha mejorado una barbaridad.
In Borderlands 3 compared to Borderlands 1 and 2. I know those were big aspects.
Antes el protagonista, de cuyo nombre no me acuerdo ahora mismo.
Anderson seguro se lo sabe.
Creo que tenía las cejas mucho mejoras. Algo así de ceja. Ya las tiene al menos así.
Ahí va, me he equivocado y he comprado el Cyberpunk. Bueno, no pasa nada.
No te lo crees ni tú.
Well, now I want to ask some really quick questions that should be yes or no, very brief. First from Castro.
Ojo, el de Witcher 3 a 15 pavos. La edición del año. Si no lo tenéis, amigos.
MHL Animations. Can I pet the gun? Great question.
I'm not here to judge what you do with your gun, so
El mejor Zelda que existe ahora mismo es The Witcher.
All right, great. Sam Wiseman asks, is Maya's new companion a siren?
People are asking the right questions. That's what I will say about that.
Oh, you tease.
Sorry.
All right, from Ironic Sanguine says, is Tiny Tina going to be seen fighting alongside the Vault Hunters?
Yes.
Nice. All right, I'm just going to blast through a couple more as fast as I possibly can.
Río, Hazuki.
Will we get to see
¿Cuántas veces lo repetió?
Yes.
Nice.
Will we see golden keys and or ship codes for Borderlands 3?
Absolutely.
Will there be duels?
Yes.
Voy a hablar con el tío este. Nice. Neku, ¿qué tal?
Bien. And also maybe. Perfect.
Luego hacemos un directo. Y luego otro hablando solo como en Bungie.
When is the damn game coming out?
Yo me voy a perder en el espacio.
Borderlands.com for more information. Thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Sean, thank you.
And once again, if you have not seen all the setups in downtown for Borderlands 3, oh, they're beautiful.
Ah, thank you.
Our next game, we're going to be revisiting the guest that we saw earlier in the show. He's upstairs with Frankie. What you got for us?
¿No se va? Joder. Sí, sí se va.
Oh, hi, we're live. Sorry. Hello, I was just, I was actually testing out my outfit for this weekend. I don't know what you think, John.
Tío, ya lo que me faltaba. ¿En serio?
Very sharp.
¿En serio?
John Gibson, president of Tripwire, thank you for joining us again on the show. Very busy man, yes. Now, last year, we revealed Man-Eater to the world. And can you remind anyone who missed it what the game's all about?
No me acuerdo ni cómo le llamaba. Se me ha ido la cabeza. La alegre, ¿cómo? La alegre manota.
You start as a small baby shark pup, and you have to survive in this harsh world and try to eat your way to the top of the ecosystem. The three words that we think sum the game up the best are eat, explore, and evolve. And we also have someone we'd like you to meet.
Well, let's meet him then. Let's take a look at the new trailer.
Bueno, pues descargado para el Faris.
¿Qué lo has dicho antes?
¿Cómo?
Mira, otra
Saldrías...
vez la misma compañía.
Calla, calla. Saldré así vestido ahora que vaya... ¿Cómo que así vestido? Ah, vale, tú con el traje ese de tiburón. Bueno, mira Zalmont, loco. ¡Ojo!
Ojo con el tiburón.
Este es Zalmont, tío, no me jodas. Zalmont es el señor de los mares, de los tiburones.
El tiburón va por todo, Dios menos por el gordo.
¡Ay, va! Me cago en Dios, que te parto la cara, gilipollas. A mí no me grabes estos pechotes. Mira.
Devorador.
Man-Eater, hostias. La gaviota, no, ya está. Se veía bien. Tío, no me jodas, lárgate a la mierda.
La loca, otra vez.
Zalmont Simulator,
Press F to respect the shark. Realmente la cara de esta tía me da mucho respeto.
Respeto no, miedo.
He's not a very nice guy. And now the story of Man-Eater is told through the lens of a reality show called Shark Hunters vs. Man-Eaters. And it follows Pete and the player Shark on its adventures.
Zalmont Simulator.
You know, it's a really, you know, it's a very exciting way to tell a story.
And based on that trailer, to be honest, it looks like your main goal of the class is to just bite everything.
Yeah, there is an awful lot of man-eating going on.
A través de la Epic Store.
And but we'd like to think of the game as a
no me extraña porque Epic Store en ese aspecto da más beneficio a los...
¡Hostias! Hostia, el tiburón mola, no me jodas. Zalmont Simulator, es que es verdad. Bien, mola. Ojo.
There's a lot of exciting things that you can do in the game.
And you mentioned RPG. How does that progression system work?
La cosa es, lo estamos comparando a Zalmont, pero ¿desde cuándo Zalmont es un tiburón? ¿Qué era un Zalmont?
There's growth, there's life phases, and
Es
there's
verdad,
evolution.
es el padre de
So
Zalmont.
growth comes about through eating things, nutrients, people, whatever you can find. And that's kind of like your XP in the game. That allows you to level up, your shark will grow a little bit, you'll get more powerful. And then at key phases that we call life phases, you'll
¿Verdad? Si Zalmont hemos dicho que era el tío ese.
a brooding teenage
No
shark.
el tiburón.
And you're about to become an adult. When you become an adult,
Bueno,
you
he
take a big
dicho.
leap in size, a big leap in power and capability. And then as you reach these life phases, you unlock evolutions that can be
Tío, a mí me mola el
shark's
juego
body.
este.
For example, you could get metallic teeth that allow you to shred boats, or a powerful tail that allows you to jump to incredible heights, or you could get mutated lungs that allow you to spend a little bit of time on the beach getting those afternoon snacks.
Just really quickly, John, everyone's wanting to know this question. When's it coming out?
So we're really hard hammerheading away at this game and trying to make it the most awesome shark RPG ever.
Jesus.
We're not ready to announce a date, but we're pretty certain you're going to see it before the next PC gaming show.
Well, I hope we do, John. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start biting people. In fact,
¿Por qué pone las manos como si fuera un tiranosaurio rex?
You guys look tasty, so I'll see you in a bit. I'm just going to have a snack. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Te tiene que estar dando un puto calor el traje ese de mierda.
Buah, pero si estaba ya que quería irse, ¿no has visto el rápido se ha mirado?
¿A qué hora es la de límite raro?
¡Wow! Silla, wow, silla.
Pero si esa silla la tengo yo.
Te callas, silla. ¡Wow! Silla.
Calla, que antes han salido de monitores.
Oh, eso no lo hace bien. Ahí va, coño, que me caigo. Estando en la silla. Venga, hombre, no me jodas. Anunciando una puta silla.
You know, one of the absolute best parts about being sponsored by iWin for the PC gaming show is that I get to sit for this next segment and talk to you about Terraria. Terraria is one of the best-selling PC games of all time, selling almost 30 million copies. And part of the reason why it's maintained such popularity is the fact that the developers...
Una silla de que costará unos 300, 400, 500 euros.
Sí, venga, claro.
Sí, ya de paso $1 millón.
Lo habrá. Costará 100 y la madre. Te sale más barato un sillón y es mejor.
150. Pero Terraria no estaba ya muerto.
Terraria. Journey's End.
Eso es nuevo. Ojo. Y se volvió a parar.
No, a mí no. Vale, a mí sí.
The next title that we're going to be looking at is a game that is the spiritual successor to Her Story. It's called Telling Lies by Annapurna Interactive, and joining me to talk about it is game director Sam
Mi hermano, ole mi Terraria.
actor producer Logan Marshall Green. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
My main man.
Now, if you haven't played Her Story, you totally should. It's fantastic. I want to know. It is a game where
¿A qué hora has dicho?
in order to uncover what happened with a murder. What?
¡Loco! Eso es las 8:30.
So, like Her Story, Telling Lies is a game.
No me toques la polla.
Footage to piece together a story.
Que yo tengo que cenar.
We have a woman who has
¿Y a qué hora es luego?
which contains secretly recorded
10?
private conversations
A las 10 es la...
characters. Something has gone
Pero
terribly wrong.
pero estamos tontos.
Figure out what and why.
It's time to take a look at some of the gameplay mechanics and see
Yo me
Telling
parece
Lies
que la
in
de
action.
Límite Run no voy a estar, ¿eh?
¿No?
No.
¿Nos la saltamos? ¿Y descansamos y preparamos para la siguiente?
Que si quiere hacer algo, que lo haga el Zalmont y el que quiera. Pero yo quiero descansar en la siguiente. Pues macho,
Vale.
es que va una detrás de otra, sin descanso.
Ya, sí. Pues en la siguiente paramos, que se vayan uniendo los dos integrantes que faltan y ya cenamos, preparamos y ya está. Como este juego no me interesa, amigos, ahora vengo.
Love you. Love you.
I've only ever been in love once. It was with a girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly. I guess I still carry a torch for it, which makes me an incurable romantic or underdeveloped emotionally. I'm a loyal friend.
A man died in my eyes at work today. We haven't done anything.
Mentira.
Oh, Sam, I got some questions for you.
Dios, no para de quedarse parado el directo,
Talk to
tú.
me about the mechanics. I mean, I saw, subtitles up, highlighting, and it was loading more video footage. What's going on?
So what we do in Telling Lies is we take all of the exploration you would have in a normal video game, so all that walking around in a 3D world, and we apply that directly to the story, to the footage itself. So you're going to be scrubbing around in these clips, paying close attention, and you're going to be picking up on the subtext, listening to names, people, places, and with that information, you're going to use that to find more clips, dig into those, and over time, kind of build up this picture of the story. And it's truly like an open world video game.
Well, I mean, a lot of times with open world video games, they talk about, the square kilometerage or miles in America. What's the sort of scope that we're talking about? Like, how many hours of footage is there?
So we got like over 10 hours of footage here. So it's
really?
a story that encompasses 2 years.
No. No he lo
This one was, like I say, really embrace this idea of it being an open world game. You're free to explore and follow your curiosity. Just lose yourself.
No, pero Anderson,
characters, it's this
tú tienes trabajo que hacer.
colorful story that we're trying to tell.
Well, I'm curious, Logan, as a performer in this kind of game, what is it like?
Ojo, mañana bajan las temperaturas aquí.
All the layers in there for each performance, also not knowing when a player's going to
Le como los huevos.
Well, it's definitely a non-linear open world game, but our approach and Sam's approach was not unlike a movie or a TV show. We had to understand it A to B. And so, for the most part, that's how we shot it. Obviously, when you're shooting a movie or a TV show,
Bueno, por lo menos es algo. Puedo seguir con mi cazadora.
We actually stayed pretty linear in how we approached the story. We went after it like all the other times.
¿Qué vas a hacer el directo solo?
Went after intention and what do we want and
Tienes que hacer con tus Akumas.
Is deep. It's got a lot of scope.
Yeah.
But we wanted to make it as deep as possible, and Sam is one of the best movie and TV directors I've worked with, so it was very similar.
Nice. Yeah, look at you too. Yeah. Now, of course, I do want to stress to any of you, if you have not played her story, it's quick to play through. It's absolutely brilliant. Please check it out in the meantime. But we're, of course, waiting to find out, when can we play Telling Lies?
Very soon. Very soon, I promise. We'll have a date soon. Right now, you can go to Steam. You can wishlist on Steam. We all love Steam. And yeah, very soon. We'll be showing a little bit more during E3. And very soon.
Fantastic.
Desperate to get it.
Te puedes tirar a quien quieras.
As soon as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, Logan, thanks so much for joining me on stage. Once again, Telling Lies. Now, up on the balcony, Frankie's going to be talking to us about a game that my friends, year after year after year, keep telling me I have to play because of how much they've improved it. Frankie, what's going on with Warframe?
Well, one of my favorite parts of last year's show, aside from being upstaged by a giant duck, was getting a glimpse at the future of Warframe. And here with the latest look at the next expansion to the universe is Space Mum Rebecca Ford. So, chat, behave yourselves, please, because Mother's here. Now, Rebecca, what are we about to see?
We're going to take a look at an amazing trailer that our team has put together. A lot of our players have been waiting a year for a look at what we've been calling Railjack, so it's about time to, see what we've been doing.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Warframe. Este es un juego nuevo, ¿no?
No. Cabrón.
Sí.
Te reviento.
Súper nuevo, tú. No lo había visto antes.
¿Qué te pasa a ti con Warframe?
Dirás que qué me pasa con la conferencia.
Lo que va a dar de ser Warframe, macho. Pero mola. Warframe. Esta es la mierda,
Rebecca, it
esta
must be
nueva.
so exciting to know that the fans have finally seen it, and you're clearly going all in on the epic space combat. So tell me about the new stuff that players are going to be able to experience.
I wasn't shaking before we started talking, and now I am because it's real, because, Empyrean is what we're calling codename Railjack. It's basically taking the space ninja part of Warframe, sending it back up to space, bringing players that squad gameplay they know, taking the enemies like the Corpus and the Grineer, giving them their own Railjack to essentially explore the solar system with and take down the bad guys.
And when are fans going to get to see more?
Well, TennoCon is in London, Ontario. It's July 6th, and you can come watch it online on Twitch. We're going to be showing a lot more in our keynote for what Empyrean is going to be.
Well, today I'm getting a feel for the suit, so what's the deal with that sweet-looking Necros Prime? How do I get my Tenno arms into it?
I cannot say that on live television, but, you know, there are ways. But yeah, you just have to link your Warframe account to your Twitch account. If you watch 30 minutes of our Tenno live show, you can get it, but hopefully you stay for the whole hour, because we got lots to show.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and good luck with TennoCon on July 6th.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've seen some amazing stuff today. Nothing quite so gloriously strange as our next game. Developed by Brooklyn-based studio Feral Cat Den, it's an existential-based jazz odyssey set during the Big Bang. Yeah, it's actually blown my mind learning about this one. Buckle up, everyone, because we're about to get bonkers with Genesis Noir.
¿Nos oyes, Riz?
Sí.
Vale. Ya no lo podemos poner a parir.
Estoy aburrido y cansado de estar en la silla.
De la sella. ¿Esta mierda? Bienvenidos al Big Bang. ¿Eres Dios? Ah, mira, este es el de antes. ¿Qué te he dicho? Génesis. Mira de culo sillas.
Genesis Noir, beautiful, stylish art.
¿Y si oye doble?
Next game we're going to take a look at is a twist on the stealth genre. It's called El Hijo, where you play as a 6-year-old trying to escape a monastery and find your mother using toys and tricks to avoid monks. Let's take a look at this gorgeous spaghetti western-inspired project from Studio Handy Games.
Pues muy bien, amigo. A ver. Ya va mal. Para mí. ¿Ves? Ahora cambia. Y esto sí me mola. No sé yo, ¿eh?
El hijo.
El hijo.
El Hijo, once again, is the title of the trailer we just saw. For our final guest tonight, he's joining me in welcoming from Larian Studios CEO Sven Vinke, and from Dungeons & Dragons at Wizards of the Coast, the creative director of Dungeons & Dragons, Mike Merles, to talk about Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah! Now, this was only just recently announced. How did this partnership come about?
We went to see Wizards of the Coast at the end of Divinity Original Sin 1.
Yeah.
That was back in 2014. And I tried to convince them back then that they should give us the Baldur's Gate 3 license. But we had a long chat about what the vision would be for the game. And then we kept on bumping into each other.
Madre mía, que acabe ya.
In 2016, I get a phone call from Nathan Stewart,
Neku.
big boss of Mike and the head of Dungeons and Dragons. He said, "You need to come to Seattle right away. We're gonna have dinner in a very shady restaurant." And he had this big stack of paper with him, and on it was Baldur's Gate 3, and in it was pretty much everything that we talked about. He said, "I'm going to send this to my board. Do you still want to do it?"
Haz el favor.
Of course, I still want to do it. And then a couple of weeks later, we started negotiating, and here we are.
I mean, what does the Baldur's Gate franchise mean to you?
Oh, to me, it's the crown jewel of D&D computer games.
Hostia, haber contenido.
For me personally, Baldur's Gate, the original one, was finally I had the chance to actually play a D&D campaign rather than having to run them for all my friends. So it just means so much to us. Baldur's Gate, it's such fantastic storytelling, and it's so exciting to see it come to not only a new generation of gamers, but for the gamers who remember the time it's been since the original, the first two in the series. So it's incredibly exciting. And for us, it really is. It's such an important part of the D&D mythos as a whole.
And we got a chance to see the trailer. Talk to me about some of the story elements, the world elements. What are things we're going to see in Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, we're only talking about what's in the trailer right now, but obviously you're going to go to the city, because we start with the city. You start outside of the city, actually. There's going to be mind flayers. They're very nasty. You are seeing in the trailer the process of ceremorphosis, as we call it. It's accelerated, so that's not normal.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of
Somos muy gilipollas, Os lo digo.
As far as we go.
I'm curious about some of the gameplay elements, because obviously, there's just been a big resurgence of Dungeons and Dragons, tons of broadcasts on Twitch. I mean, how do you translate some of the insane things that players want to do into, what has to be a structured computer game?
So we started with the player handbook, which is basically the basic rule set of Dungeons and Dragons.
Which player handbook? Which edition?
5th edition. 5th edition.
Right. Yeah.
And so we ported as much as we could to the video game. We looked at what works really well. We looked at the things that didn't work that well, because it is a video game, and this was made for tabletop gaming. And so we started modifying those things, and then we had to add things on top of it, because if you play tabletop, you have a game master, and you say, well, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then the
I
game
want to
master
start a fight with a pigeon, and he's like, okay, roll for dexterity.
Exactly. So we had to add systems to make that possible within the game. But we've gone very, very far.
Yeah, I mean, can you give an example of like a crazy moment that a player might do that you could actually play out in the game?
Well, I could, let's say that we get into a fight because you ask a nasty question, I don't want to answer it. And I take the chair over there, I put it on fire, smash it on your head.
El hijo.
That's an example.
It's just an example, this is fine, we're just talking,
These are things that we have to put systems into the game for to do it, which are not necessarily going to be described inside of the book.
Interesting. And I mean, like, Mike, in terms of your role, speaking to Larian Studios, you have tons of data of all the sorts of things that players do. What's the sort of information that you provide in a system?
Por supuesto,
really what it comes down to is providing the
de cabeza de Witcher.
Dungeons and Dragons, the universe of D&D. It's like a toy box. The dungeon masters and players can go into and build their own stories.
The Witcher 3 es la pollísima.
A lot of it was just opening up that toy box and sharing it. And giving that kind of guidance, like I remember one of our first meetings, we just laid out a map of Baldur's Gate and the Sword Coast and asking a lot of questions, like what kind of story do you want to tell? Where do we want to go? What are the cool locations we want to put in a game like
el segundo es el Skyrim, sí.
The system support, what does it
Pero vamos, el de Witcher se los mea y se los caga a todos juntos.
Each character race, each character class, so that if you have your favorite class and it's in the game, you really feel like you're taking on that role that you love so much from the tabletop. It's really coming to life in an authentic way. In
We're going to talk in a moment about Baldur's Gate 3 release dates and whatnot, but we have a second game that we want to talk about, and new technology known as pencil and paper. I understand that there is a tabletop prequel coming for Baldur's Gate.
La Concha Azul tiene más personalidad que Neku.
All the different games coming together to tell one grand story.
Dice Anderson,
so,
SH.
On September 17th, we're releasing our next tabletop campaign, Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus, and it is the next chapter in the Baldur's Gate saga, and it's a prequel to Baldur's Gate 3. So if you haven't played Baldur's Gate games, Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, this is your chance to check out on the history. It's been about 100 years since the Baldur's Gate 2. So this will give you a chance to check in on the city, to see what's going on, its current state, who the movers and shakers are. We also feature a complete levels 1 to 13 campaign that takes you from the main streets of Baldur's Gate to the depths of hell itself. And sort of pose to the players a question, do you want to redeem Baldur's Gate or send it to damnation? So we're putting that right in players' hands.
Well, I have to ask Sven, it's a question on a lot of people's minds. What can you talk to us about expected release time frames?
So people have been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah.
They're going to have to wait a little bit when it's ready.
Por favor, que acabe ya.
We want to play, so we
¿Que
want
acabe
to
o que enseñen otro juego?
When that's the case, then we'll release it.
Well, I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time.
No me
I think I
jodas.
speak for a lot of people here when I say, take your time. If the Divinity Original Sin games are any indication of the quality, it's going to be fantastic and worth the wait. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ben and Mike, talking about
Por
Baldur's
favor,
Gate 3.
mi alma no puede con
Goodbye,
más
guys.
tensión.
Why are they leaving? Well, it's because the PC gaming show has officially concluded. Let's bring up on the stage the fantastic Frankie. Whoa!
¡Ha terminado! ¡Por fin!
Well, thank you so much, Sean. Hasn't this audience been absolutely fantastic today?
Tío, la alegre manota esta. Vete a
Thank
tomar
you
por...
so much for coming
No
out
me
to the
cae
5th
bien.
annual PC Gaming Show. We want to give an enormous thanks to all of you who tuned in live.
Venga,
We
muchas
want to, of
gracias.
course, thank all of you who
Hasta el año que viene.
who helped make this possible.
Espérate, que
Big
no
Game
acaba.
Store, iWin,
No me jodas, no me
Frontier,
jodas, no me
Funcom, Paradox, Interactive, Hovercast, Perfect World, Rebellion, Tripwire, and
Espérate,
Samsung. As you know, PC
que se
gaming
vienen los
platform
últimos
is not a
juegos.
publisher or developer, so these sponsors are essential for letting us put
¿Ha
on
dicho
these shows.
Simpson,
Thank
el
you
tío
so
este?
much.
No
And I
tengo
gotta
ni
ask,
idea.
Frankie, any titles you're
Estoy
excited
jugando a
about?
Brawl
Well,
Stars.
I do love a baby elephant, so definitely Planet's doing slightly more awkwardly. Then I also want to eat things, maybe elephants
yeah.
included,
Por
so
favor.
man-eater, of course.
I'm
Írseme.
personally looking forward to Songs of Conquest, and as you heard, there's games coming out all across 2019 and into 2020. We hope you all have a fantastic E3. It officially begins tomorrow. Big shout out to all the other press conferences.
Por favor,
Hello again,
señores.
Drop Frames. Good to see you 2 years in a row. We hope you all have a fantastic time at E3 and go play some games and make some friends. See you next year. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
¡Lo mejor de la conferencia de PC!
Una polla, que lo mejor ha sido el Falagur ese, como se diga. El
Vale, lo segundo
Balfari.
mejor de la conferencia de PC. ¡Me cago en Dios! ¡Joder! ¡Qué aburrido! ¡Qué tensión! Que acaba 10 minutos de la de Limit Break. De Ranking.
Bueno, pues amigos, aquí se despide todo. O sea, todo no. Hasta luego. Hasta el siguiente.
Mira,
Hasta
esta
el
es mi
movie.
opinión de casi toda la conferencia, o sea, del 99% de la conferencia de PC.
Han dicho cosas. A ver, han enseñado cosas guapas, chulas. Pero tanta conversación, pues no. Hala, chapando. Hasta el siguiente.
Hasta luego. Arreando sin pam pum.